Hello and welcome to Grocer Pod. My name's Sean Kosednar. We have another great episode for you this week. I will be joined in studio by Shelly Dean, Food Safety Director at AWG. We're going to be talking about sustainability and quality assurance. But before I get to Shelly, I want to remind you to please subscribe to Grocer Pod. Subscribing means new episodes will be downloaded for you each week. You can find Grocer Pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform you use to listen to your podcasts. As climate change becomes an even bigger focus across all aspects of society, companies, regardless of the industry, are starting to find ways to be more sustainable. Issue 13 of Compete magazine was devoted to the topic. Shelly wrote a great opening letter to that issue, so she's the perfect person to sit down with. Thanks for joining me today, Shelly.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And so why should retailers be thinking about sustainability?
Incorporating sustainability practices into stores is important to connect with future consumers. As I would like to consider myself a younger consumer in the stores, it's definitely something that I'm looking for and teaching my young children to be looking for when we are having our shopping experiences as well. Consumers believe that food retailers should help their employees and their local communities, and in addition to making a profit as well. It's becoming more and more important to the younger consumers, and this is backed by studies that show that consumers will pay more and drive farther even to shop a food retailer that is supporting their community and the environment.
Yeah, one of the things I talk about on this show a lot is, how retailers can really, be of the community and really make themselves a part of that community. And supporting local businesses and local farmers and things is certainly a way that they can do that. What are some sustainable practices that retailers can put in place?
Some of the most requested initiatives are providing on-site recycling, so the ability to bring back maybe plastic bags, cardboard, glass into the retailer's parking lot or into the store when they are come shopping, save them a trip to go somewhere else. Labeling products that are locally made or grown, it makes consumers feel better about their purchases if they know that it was grown locally. Offering points and prizes for waste saved through purchases and or recycling. Providing biodegradable bags for produce as well. I know that when I'm looking at my purchases of produce, I like to make sure that the bags that I'm purchasing aren't just going to be thrown in the trash. And selling products in a wider variety of sizes to help eliminate food waste as a shopper, and teaching my young children on how to shop and reduce waste. For example, I'll make sure that I'm buying that single banana and picking up all the single bananas to make sure that those aren't going to be thrown away. Or even I've seen in some retailers where they're offering those single bananas out for kid snacks throughout the store, as well as a healthy alternative too, and to make sure that they're reducing their waste in some of their produce items.
Yeah, I love the stores that offer the glass recycling. It feels like around where I live, only a few do, and I definitely make a point to go to the ones that do, because I don't want to do that extra trip of going and finding a place to take my glass.
Absolutely.
And then the local produce just makes so much sense to me, because as a consumer, I want the produce that's in season, and if it's local, then I know that it's in season. So your customers are going to be happier with the quality, as well as being happy that, they're being, quote, sustainable.
Yeah, and it's easy to work into your local partnerships with your produce as well. A story about the farmer, a story about, your local farm that's providing that food as well.
So switching gears from the retailer, there's also how AWG as a whole is going to focus on sustainability. So what is their strategy?
AWG has a cross-functional team that we've established to strategically incorporate sustainability into our everyday operations. We want to make environmental improvements that positively impact our member retailers, promote a sustainable future, and lead to social and economic improvements in our communities. We know that positive outcomes can be met while also delivering sustainable financial return. We coin our team the Affordable Sustainability Team because of that reason.
Yeah, I know that when, whether we're talking to retailers or, us as a whole, when people think of, green energy or sustainability, they think of higher prices and that it's obviously going to cost more, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, it sounds like.
It does not have to be the case, and that is strategically what the AWG sustainability team looks for when we're making those decisions.
So what are some examples of sustainability at AWG?
Sure. We're working to reduce our contributions to climate change through operational excellence. For example, we're implementing sustainable procurement practices, ensuring that the suppliers that we're doing business with have sustainable practices in place. We're reducing our consumption of energy and looking into ways where maybe we can incorporate solar at that sustainable yet affordable point. We're reducing our waste. We're partnering with some companies who are helping us maybe divert products that would ordinarily go to the dump into other avenues such as recycling, or maybe using it for compost, for example. We're increasing our site recycling overall, and we're investing in clean energy as well.
When it comes to procurement, what are some of the things that AWG is looking for in those suppliers?
We are looking at suppliers who are making impacts in the way that they operate day to day. That may include the packaging material that they are utilizing to ensure that they are using recycled materials, or maybe reducing the amount of packaging material that they're using. We are looking at suppliers who have sustainable practices in place. For example, seafood suppliers are held to a stricter standard to ensure that they are being sustainable. And we are starting to collect information on all of our suppliers that we procure products from, to see if they have sustainable practices in place and have ethics programs in place at their own facilities.
So Shelly, one of the other things that I know that you're focused on here at AWG is quality assurance. Why does AWG do quality assurance testing on AWG Brand's items?
Our food safety quality assurance team uses the phrase "inspect what you expect." So conducting quality assurance testing on our AWG Brand's products verifies our suppliers are providing the products that we expect to be in our labels.
And obviously we expect that to be, super high. What goes into that testing?
Sure. Our food safety quality assurance team conducts 2 different levels of quality assurance product testing. Every AWG Brand's item is tested annually to ensure that our suppliers are providing us what we expect. The AWG team conducts bake-off, sensory testing here at our corporate location, and those tests are primarily focused on ensuring that the consumer experience is what we want them to have. Testing the products organoleptically, so how does the product feel when you take it out of the package? How does it look before you bake it? What does it look like after you bake it? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And ensuring that consumer experience is at the highest caliber. We also partner with a third-party laboratory to test all of our products at a higher tier of testing. They are also going to be conducting organoleptic testing with an experienced sensory panel, but they're also going to be testing those products according to the supplier specification and looking at very specific chemical analysis of the products, ensuring things like bricks, which is sugar, to make sure the sugar is the right context, looking at the viscosity of the product, making sure that the product's not too thick or too thin, for example, and then also testing the products for microbiological concerns to ensure that we're not going to have early spoilage of product, for example.
Yeah, so it's a lot more than just sitting around eating the food.
Unfortunately, yes.
How does the 100% guarantee for AWG Brands work? What are we guaranteeing?
Yep. Every AWG Brands product is guaranteed at 100%. We guarantee that consumers will be satisfied with their purchase, and if not for any reason, they're not satisfied, whether it's because there was an actual defect in the product or whether it's just because they don't like it or they don't prefer it to the national brand, they can contact our customer care team and they will be be issued a reimbursement for that product, and that reimbursement looks a form of a coupon that they can take to any AWG retailer, and they can get reimbursed for it.
I spend a lot of time working with AWG brands and a lot of time in stores that sell AWG brands, and I had no idea that existed. So I think retailers should definitely be promoting that more. Like, AWG brands can talk about it all at once, but the customers really think about it as something coming from their local store. And so retailers, be promoting this 100% guarantee, because I work with AWG brands and I had no idea it existed. So I know that your customers don't either.
There's no risk for trying the AWG brands products because of this guarantee.
That is amazing. What happens after a customer sends in a product issue, like a piece of plastic in a cereal bag or a stem in a can of green beans?
So first off, I'd like to say that those are rare occurrences, but unfortunately they do happen, especially with the amount of volume that we are procuring from suppliers. Accidents do happen. Just everybody makes mistakes, right? Every correspondence that we receive regarding if it's an AWG brand's defect or whether it is a complement of the product that they like is fully detailed, documented into a database, and it's tracked until the case is properly closed out. For instances such as you mentioned with foreign or natural materials, we require our suppliers to investigate and implement needed corrective actions. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, the consumer is happy with their product, whether it's because they don't like it or it's maybe because they found a stem in a green bean can. Sometimes the investigations are not as thorough as we would like, though, and that is because we don't receive all the product information that our suppliers need to actually fully investigate the product complaint. When suppliers are investigating product complaints, they need to be sure that they have full lot code information, pictures of if there was a foreign or natural material, for example, as well as the UPC, in order to really dig down into their manufacturing records so we can get to the root cause of what actually happened.
So again, just like with the guarantee, customers are probably going to go to their local store first rather than contacting, AWG brands. So what should retailers be asking for from the customer if something like this happens?
The retailer should ask the customer if they have the package and if there was something found in it. If they also have that, they can have the customer contact our customer care line, which the phone number is on the back of all of our products, or they can also find that on our AWG Brands websites. They can contact us directly. The retailer may also contact us. We would ask that they save all the packaging material, and if there was something in the product as well, hold on to it, take pictures of it for us. That way we can receive those photos in and submit them to the supplier.
Yeah, because obviously if something like that happens, we want the supplier to be able to do as thorough of an investigation as they can.
Absolutely. Again, we inspect what we expect, so we want to hold our suppliers accountable for what they say that they're going to be providing us.
How does the food safety quality assurance team work with the packaging and creative teams for product labels?
All food sold in the United States are required to be labeled in accordance to applicable labeling laws. In the United States, food labeling is regulated mainly by two entities, the Food and Drug Administration, also FDA, and the United States Department of Agriculture, or USDA. The Food Safety Quality Assurance team works with the packaging and creative teams to ensure proper labeling of our AWG Brands products. All AWG Brands labels are thoroughly reviewed multiple times by both the Food Safety Quality Assurance team and the supplier's labeling team as well to make sure that they are in full compliance with all the labeling laws.
As someone that works on the labels by taking the photos, I'm well aware of how often that those are reviewed and how closely they inspect, everything that's on that label.
Many people don't understand the different aspects and elements that go into labeling of products. The labeling laws are in place to protect the consumer, and that's put in place to protect the consumer from several different aspects. It can be everything from ensuring that the consumer isn't misled to think maybe there's more product in the packaging than what's being labeled on the packaging, to make sure that the claims such as gluten-free and organic are true, accurate claims to be making on that product, but also for safety reasons, such as ensuring that the top 9 allergens in the U.S. are properly labeled on that packaging. As a mother of a son who's anaphylactic food allergies to tree nuts and to eggs, it is critically important to make sure that consumers are aware of everything that's in their products and all the labeling elements are true and accurate.
Yeah, it's certainly a tough job, but a very important one that you all are doing over there. So that really kind of wraps it up for us today. Sustainability, AWG, just starting out on our sustainability journey. So I'm sure we'll have you back to talk about that. And there's always new stuff in the food safety world. So Shelly will not be a stranger on Grocer Pod. Shelly, thanks for joining me this week.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for listening. Again, please like and subscribe to Grocer Pod so you can automatically hear all the latest things going on around AWG. And until next time, this has been Sean Kosednar for Grocer Pod.